Welcome back to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video, but before we get into the content, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. We hope you enjoyed the video. God bless. Kawhi Leonard was originally picked for the 2024 Paris Olympics team, but is now not going to be performing. That sounds crazy. He's not going to be a part of the team anymore with the Paris Olympics. And from what it seems like in the reports, they're saying it's because of his injuries, but I think it's about something a little bit different. D-Lo, why do you think Kawhi Leonard is not going to be participating in the Paris Olympics? And with them bringing on Derek White, did they have any other options that were a little bit better than Derek White?
So as far as Kawhi's concerned, this is such a Kawhi Leonard thing to do.
Ain't it though?
It's such a Kawhi Leonard thing to do. From rumors and reports, he was participating and practicing well leading up to their first game. And then I'm going to say out of nowhere as a fan, but reading reports, it was a collective agreement. But then all of a sudden, he says he's not going to participate. Same thing happens with him during the basketball season. Round 1 or round 2 of the playoffs, he's playing well, busting ass, and then all of a sudden he's out the next game. And then that turns into he's out for the rest of the series. It's like, what? Wow, what's going on, man? I don't know. But I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised. It's definitely a Kawhi Leonard thing. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I even wonder why we consider him one of the better players in the NBA, because he's never, after Toronto, he's never really been available to help his team like actually win in the championship and win the NBA finals or make it to the NBA finals. So sometimes I'm like, why do we even consider him one of the better players? But obviously when he's on the court, when he's healthy, he's a problem. He's defensively, he's a menace. He's proven in the last couple years that he can score with the best of them. He can be efficient when he needs to be. So I understand that. As far as Derek White being picked to join the team, they definitely had other options. I've said when we discussed the team being picked, they could have, the snubs were obviously Kyrie, and then I said Jalen Brunson. And then since Derek White comes from the Boston Celtics, they could have brought Jaylen Brown, who was the finals MVP, to be a part of the team. I understand why somebody would say that, why we would say that, but he wouldn't have been my first pick. I would have said Kyrie or Jalen Brunson. Now, the only reason you would say Jaylen Brown is because of his height and his length and his athleticism. And he also was a part of the 2019 World Cup team or FIBA World Cup, but so was Derek White, which I found out. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need any more killers on the team per se, because they already have plenty of those. If KD can play, because he didn't play against Canada the other night, which, speaking of that, off topic real quick, I didn't realize Canada had that many NBA players.
Hoopers, bro.
I was like, wait a minute, huh? He from Canada?
Got some hoopers, bro.
You got Shea, you got Murray, you got Brooks, you had oh my God, old boy with the Knicks, or no, he's not with the Knicks anymore, but he played at Duke. What's his name?
Damn, you put me on the spot. RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. I mean, I'm like, dang, I forgot.
And you still got Andrew Wiggins, who was not allowed to play.
You know what I mean? Like, dang, crazy.
They got some hoopers, dog.
They got some hoopers. But yeah, back on topic. But yeah, so they definitely had other options than Derek White. But like I said, you don't necessarily need any more killers on the team. Just need a good fit, somebody that's gonna take on the role that's given to them. for lack of better terms, be appreciative to be on the team and not expect too much or be a problem when it becomes crunch time or, be a cancer to the team chemistry. So maybe he was the best overall pick, but they definitely had other options that they could have put on the team.
100%. I mean,
best overall. When I say best overall, because you made a face, best overall for the chemistry of the team.
For the chemistry of the team, and just like so. To echo D'Lo's point, this is definitely a Kawhi Leonard thing, bro. This is like Kawhi Leonard has been the most pampered basketball player over the past 7-8 years now, like almost a decade at this point. Since he left San Antonio, he has been the most pampered basketball player I have ever seen in my life. And for somebody to be, arguably one of the top 10 players in the NBA, some would argue top 5 players in the NBA currently, for the way that he controls teams here recently is insane to me. And like D'Lo pointed out, he had been practicing very, very well. He had been looking good. Everything was looking towards Kawhi Leonard actually playing in the Paris Olympics. But all of a sudden, like D'Lo said, for lack of a better phrase, now he's not going to be participating in the Paris Olympics. I think this is very similar to what happened to Andrew Wiggins with the Golden State Warriors. Like, they didn't want Andrew Wiggins to play for Canada so they could have him healthy enough to be able to possibly trade him down the line. That's why he's not playing for Canada in the Paris Olympics. This is the same thing on the opposite spectrum for me, is that I think that the USA Olympic Board and the Clippers came together and said, hey, like, we need him healthy for the 2024-2025 season. We don't want nothing to happen to bruh because his track record. Let's not allow him to play in the Paris Olympics because of that. And I think that's what it is, because he does have a max contract, but he's making 3 years, 150, which we'll talk about here in a little bit in the next segment. So, like, they need Kawhi. Kawhi was one of the main reasons why they only made it to the second round of the playoffs this past year. He was one of the main reasons why. Because he hasn't been available. Your best ability is availability. And he hasn't had the availability to put together really good runs since he was in Toronto when he won that NBA championship. Because of his injury, he's always injury prone. He's always hurt. He's always load managing. People would say that he's cleared to play, but he just doesn't play to quote unquote make sure that he's actually ready. Like, come on, bro. Kawhi Leonard is the most privileged basketball player I have ever seen. And I hate it, honestly. I honestly hate the fact that he's so babied around the NBA. Now, to get to who was a better option, I mean, Derek White, congratulations to you, brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are a great basketball player, point of attack defender. You had a really good defensive year this year. I didn't even know you averaged more blocks than you averaged steals. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Well, not by much. 1.2 blocks, 1 steal. Same, but still. I didn't know you averaged that many blocks as a guard. That is really, really good. But he's a really good player. Whenever we're talking about Olympics, bro, you can never have too many killers. Never had too many killers.
That's true.
Derek White, I'm not saying I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, Dino. Listen what I'm saying.
Listening.
Derek White is a killer in his own right. And yes, he fits the chemistry in a sense of, what was it that Grant Hill said in that report? Let me see if I can find it before I get too deep and it's too quiet. I don't want it to be too quiet. He was saying that, he said one of the many things that I really love about Derek, and particularly with this team, is I don't feel like his role is going to change much with our team for what he does with the Celtics. He plays alongside 2 incredibly great young players, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And this setting is hard when you come in and you have you're the center of the universe, and now you have to establish a role, and it might be different than what you have to do on your team. And so we have someone who can come and play off of guys, be complimentary to some others, but then also stand out and be a dynamite defensive player, knock down shots, and just impact winning. I get that. 100%. 100% get that, because that is the role that he plays for the Celtics, and he's going to be stepping into that same role with the Olympics. But when you're talking about the Olympics, bro, you want to have the best national players to play for your team. That's why they put the Dream Team together. That's why they put the Redeem Team together. That's why they put all of these teams together, because you have all those killers in one place and there's no way you're going to lose. You could have took somebody like D'Lo said, like a Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? Like a Jalen Brunson, like a Jalen Brown, like a Trae Young, somebody like that. Or if you really want to be a killer, go get Draymond. The international hammer, dog. What are you talking about? Go get Draymond. Why not? You got enough guards. Put Draymond on the team, and ain't nobody go smack everybody around. Go get somebody like that. But there were so many better options than Derek White. But I understand the pick, and I understand what he means, the piece that he brings to the Olympic team. So all in all, congratulations to Derek White. But there were some better options out there for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Let's get back to the Kawhi portion of it, though, because you brought up a good point, and I have a question to ask about that. Okay. So it was said, it's been floated that Ty Lue, who is an assistant coach, or he's on the coaching staff for the USA team, as well as the general manager for the Clippers, were at the USA practices, and they, along with Kawhi, decided,
I wonder why.
Yeah. And they, along with Kawhi, decided that, he should just chill. He shouldn't participate in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about teams keeping players or having the power to keep players from representing their country? We talked about Andrew Wiggins in the Warriors situation. Now, apparently, Kawhi is having similar experience with the team, basically requesting that he not play in the Olympics to keep him healthy enough to make it through the season. How do you feel about teams having the power to keep them from participating in the Olympics?
You don't necessarily like it, but it's a business before it is a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, and I can just give my experience a little bit. Whenever I was let go from the Atlanta Falcons, I was on the verge of signing a practice team contract, but contract nonetheless. Contract nonetheless, right? And since I was already injured in college, I had a shoulder injury in college, and I came into the NFL and I ruptured my hamstring. It was a "what have you done for me lately" type of thing. You were performing on the field before you got hurt, but you came in hurt, and now you got hurt again. So now you're injury prone. Let's not give you this contract. Kind of similar to what's going on with Kawhi in a sense that he is a superstar, but he has $150 million guaranteed. So regardless if he gets hurt or not, he's getting that $150 million. No business is going to want their asset, their most expensive asset, to not be an asset to them, make them extra additional money, because they're going to have to pay him regardless. So if they're going to say, if he's has a history of being injury prone, which he does, he has a history of load managing, not playing, not performing, people not coming to the games and being mad if they do come to the games whenever he's not playing, because they want to see that excitement. They want to be entertained. We talked about that in the NBA the TV contract. People want to be entertained. And if he's not playing, and now they don't have Paul George, they gave him away for nothing, which we'll talk about here in a second. The only thing that you're going to see right now is Kawhi Leonard. Now, you can say they still got James Harden, but he averaged a little bit more than 16 points last year. He ain't entertaining no more. So they want to see Kawhi. Then that's going to bring in more money, sell more jerseys, sell more tickets, TV deals. They're going to be on the TV more whenever Kawhi plays. So it's going to bring in more money for the organization. So as if I was a business owner, and I got $150 million on the table that's at stake, and he gonna go play for the Olympics and possibly get hurt and be out for the season, I don't want to give him that $50 million. So they have to do something to protect their asset.
Yeah, I understand that, and that obviously I know that is the answer, right? It's a business at the end of the day. But if that's the case, if that is the case, why have any NBA player participate at all in this day and age, especially with the amount of money that they are now getting and will get in the future? Why have any NBA player participate at all? And also, to take it a step further, why have any college player play, especially with them starting to get the money that they're getting with the NIL deals and whatnot, and potentially getting more money with the conferences schools being able to pay them now. So, like, if we're talking about strictly business, we want the best of the best to represent us in the Olympics, because we take that highly competitive. We take that seriously. Why have any of these individuals participate at all? Right? True. Is my question.
Well, because I think that go ahead. Finish up.
I'm just saying, because money aside, we take the Olympics were started because of the competitive nature of every country, and you want to have the best of the best represent you. But if the best of the best can't participate because you're worried about them, you're trying to protect them as an asset for your business. Who participates for us? It's not going to be our best of the best.
Agree, but see, that goes back to the conversation we had last week about the football team. It's an under 20 football team. So the NBA could 100% do that.
We didn't have
100%.
That conversation. Not on the podcast anyway.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, we talked about that, the whole situation where Japan just beat us in the football Olympics, the American football Olympics at that, and they just beat us. But the team is under 20. There's no NFL players on that team. If it was, America would be dominating. We all know that. Mm. But that's the difference between basketball and football, is that this is a worldwide sport. Football is becoming that too. American football is becoming that too. But NBA is a worldwide sport. So we're going to put our best foot forward every time. But now, to be perfectly honest,
though.
Well, true. We ain't putting our best foot, though. Knees, Achilles, we ain't putting those forward if we talk about the business at hand. But to be perfectly honest, they could go to an under 20. And I still think, nah. It'd be like Japan and American football. If they did an under 20 in basketball, they can 100% do that if they wanted to.
Well, if every other country can have their professional players come play, well, see, that's the thing, because those countries have their own professional leagues, whereas the best of the best from those countries come to the NBA. But if NBA said nobody can play, no professional player from the NBA can play in the Olympics, they have to be whatever from those countries. Those other countries have professional leagues where they have good players in them, and you put them against 18 and 19-year-olds, which is why we put NBA players in the Olympics in the first place. They gonna dominate us. I wouldn't say dominate, but it's not going to be like it has been with the original Dream Team, with the Redeem Team, and hopefully we expect this team to do well. But who knows?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think all in all, we know what the answer is. I don't think. I mean, they have the power because in ultimately it is a business. They have that kind of power. Should they have it? I'm gonna go out on the limb and say yeah, because but like I said, Kawhi is if we're going by the statement of what have you done for me lately, Kawhi has not done shit for anybody lately. If we're being perfectly honest, I mean, he's a great player when he's on the court, but his availability has been ass. So like, what have you done for me lately? I would, if I was the Clippers, go play. But no, that's contradictory to what I just said earlier. Because if I'm an owner, I'm not letting Kawhi play either because I owe him $150 million guaranteed. So and I don't want to pay him that if he gets hurt in the Olympics and he can't play for the entirety of in the NBA season coming up 24-25. I don't want to pay him $50 million.
I mean, Steph Curry's making $52 million. He's playing, but Andrew Wiggins couldn't play. LeBron just signed a $51 million per year contract. He's playing. Going
into year 22. And he's
AD
playing.
Is injury prone. I mean,
the most babied NBA player in the history of the NBA, bro.
Well, 100%. Okay. LeBron isn't known to be injury prone. Steph has some nagging injuries. Mm-hmm. AD has had some nagging injuries. Stuff, yep. He has a big contract. Who else? KD, the last couple years, and he didn't play the other night. And we don't want to make this longer than what it needs to be. I'm just right. Saying. I don't know that. I understand like professional leagues, professional teams should have that power because it is a business. They are paying these athletes tons of money. But I mean, we're talking about maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity to represent your country. And the Pandora's box was opened in 1992 when you said, okay, let's let professional athletes play. Now you're saying, let's rethink this. So are we going to go back to college players playing in the Olympics instead of professional NBA players? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to belabor that.
Kawhi Leonard is, again, it's the case of Kawhi. To be perfectly honest, this dude is the most babied NBA player in the past decade, probably in the history of the NBA. I don't think there's any other player in the history of the NBA that has been babied and coddled as much as Kawhi Leonard, and still paid among the top 10 in the NBA. He's the only person that I've ever seen get this kind of treatment, and it's insane. It's insane. So I mean, if it's literally just him. It's literally just him. That's it. It's just Kawhi. It's the Kawhi effect. That's all it is.